and welcome, family, to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms. We really want to thank everyone that supports us on Patreon and enables us to continue to bring the Wake Up Africa news to our people. Definitely check out all the new products that we have, family, especially our new podcast, Dr. Mumbi Show, podcast edition, as well as Wake Up Africa, which is basically a news show with, me, Dr. Mumbi Saraki. And there is something that I will share probably at the end of this show, and it's about something that I've been led by Spirit to start. It's called the Unity Communities. I get so many emails every so often, no, actually weekly, of people asking if I know people in their communities or if I know of any kind of organizations of just thinkers, of guys who are just getting out of the old thinking and trying to create their own narratives. So definitely, watch till the end so you can catch that and find out how you can get in touch with me. If you're interested, email me, drmumbi@drmumbishow.com. Family, you've been seeing what's going on. I've been getting your emails about the guidestones. I'm going to share that email very, very soon on this public platform. If you want to see it first, definitely consider joining the Patreon where I'll release it first. But I'm going to do, I have a lot to share about what really happened behind the guidestones, the Georgia guidestones. But family, African presidents right now are freaking out at what is happening in Sri Lanka and in Albania. I don't know if you know, there's also been massive demonstrations in Albania. But what we saw over the weekend, remember, family, I told you it's about the group consciousnness and feeding the group consciousness. When someone takes an idea and it's beamed across the world, that seeds something. Because as soon as Sri Lanka went down, Albania took to the streets in massive numbers because they were inspired. And this is all we're talking about across Africa. In case you've been under some kind of rock, I know a lot of you guys are doing your thing, which is awesome. Sri Lanka has fallen, literally. The people stormed the presidential palace, or whatever they call it, and you saw them swimming in there. They were sleeping in the presidential bed. They literally took it over. I think right now there's some kind of like Occupy State House going on in Sri Lanka, and they burnt down the president's residence. And later, we even saw like the concierge, I don't know what the presidential concierge, rushing to a naval ship to secure them or to protect them from the people. But the people, enough was enough, because there was a fuel shortage, there was a food shortage. And family, we already know that these are signs of the end. These are signs of the total collapse and breakdown of Babylon. We already know that, but it's like everything is coming to a head. And I don't know if it's because of maybe the Hadron Collider, family. I feel like it's accelerating time, but those are stories for other days. But it's like everything has come to a head, and seeing, grandmothers even demonstrating, family, in the State House, in the presidential palace. All kinds of age groups. So they couldn't say it was one age bracket or another. And did you notice how melanated the Sri Lankans are? Just saying, family. This has kind of inspired a lot of Africans who are in the same situation. They're on the brink of despair, barely just making it. And the reason why the African presidents are afraid, though, or are freaking out, is because this shows you that, there's no more free lunch. This shows you that those who they used to run to give them a quick loan here and a quick loan there, and who used to save them, literally their puppet masters, are not going to come to their rescue anymore. And it's literally every man for himself, every nation for himself. And if you want to, stay, they can't even help you. The nations that have been supporting these nations have their own issues. Like Sri Lanka bowed to China, they had the whole port issue, they were losing their port, they had massive loans, etc., etc. It's not always just corruption, because this is a globally corrupt system. So literally every nation is corrupt, or every nation, there's someone whose fingers are dirty. So it's not just about corruption, family. But there's so many deals that have been signed behind closed doors, nations' livelihoods, raw materials, minerals, gold, rubies, diamonds, been signed away by these greedy leaders. And I told you in a previous show how already these governments are so obtuse. They're so large that they take so much to run. And this is also another entrapment, because it's literally impossible for you to transition peacefully to a new political system. They've shut out all political systems. So it's either you're a republic, you're a democracy, and if you try and get out of those, they'll either call you a communist, a socialist, or this, or that, but you're stuck in a system where, this multi-party, or which they're trying to bring down to two parties, where it will be the blue versus the red, like in the divided states. But what's happening now is like all these corrupt leaders are literally being left to fend for themselves. There's no more bailouts from the puppeteers, family. And it's no longer even really desirable, the things that they're asking. Because I heard, like, for example, here in Kenya, I heard that the World Bank or something, our government was seeking a loan yet again from the World Bank, and they were now saying that they would have to, like, double the taxes on fuel and do this and do that. And it was just like, that is going to become more and more expensive and undesirable. And literally nations will be signing their own death warrants if they continue to get these loans and deals from the world banks of this world, who want the current nations to implode so that the new system can come. Remember, order out of chaos. That's their motto. They've not been able to create the new world order because in their minds there's not enough chaos. So literally now the African presidents are waking up to the fact, like, yo, we're not going to be bailed out by the people we used to bow to before. They're not coming to our rescue anymore. Where are they going to get the money from? Because it's too late to try and tighten ship. And before it used to be like, oh, I'm only here for 5 years, I'll do what I need to do and then keep it moving. But now there's all these justice, because the people are demanding justice. They want these guys prosecuted now. It's not like, okay, you stole from us, but you're a former president, so you go live the rest of your life wherever. No, people want justice. And so the African presidents can tell, like, the dynamics have changed. It's becoming way too costly to remain in the Babylon system, because you're literally self-destructing at this point. And it's just like you have to submit to the New World Order if you want to be part of their system. Which, when you see everyone wearing those facial diapers, it's already happening. When you see all the presidents in that, it's just like, wow. They're all just in it, deep up in it. But they know, like, now they won't be bailed out unless they literally want to sell their kidney. And they never want to, at their own expense. They'll never do anything at their own expense. But it's going to become more and more tricky. And especially now, the world is a stage where every action they take is exposed. And then now, the citizens of the world are inspiring one another, family. You know how inspired people are from Sri Lanka, and seeing people from all walks of life, from mothers of young children, to young men, to old men, breaking down, those presidential gates and going in there, going in every room, sitting on the high chairs and swimming in the presidential pool. I mean, it captured the group consciousness of the world. It captured the imagination of the world. And there's many youths across Africa who are thinking, yo, we could do that too, because we're not benefiting from this. And then now the African presidents don't have those people that always used to back them up, because they have their own issues. There's so much that's happening in Europe, family, that's being underreported. Like just recently, I think it was farmers in Austria or something. Actually, farmers across Europe are demonstrating, but farmers, I think, in Austria We're demonstrating because they literally have to give up their farms because of acid rain emissions. So they're literally trying to not so blatantly put all food production under the control of government and then even minimize it. Next, we'll be told because of climate change, food needs to be made in laboratories. Although, in some nations, it already is. But those are stories for other days. Let me know what you think in the comments below. It's a new day, family. It's a new day. And what we're seeing in Sri Lanka, best believe, if African presidents aren't careful, that's what's going to start happening, and it will be like a domino effect. But let's add our spiritual vibes to it to make sure that it doesn't get too chaotic, where Babylon once again has to come in, give us a neo-colonial order. Until next time, tuko pamoja. Looking for a conscious community, or for people, who are on their awakening journey, on their transition to an off-grid living in your country, well, we have the solution, family. We're calling it Unity Communities. We get so many emails every week from people who ask if I know of people in their region or people in their city or people in their town who are on a similar kind of journey, who have broken away or are breaking away from the religious psychosis, and they're looking for just people who think the same way in their town, in their city. But more importantly, to give us a community where we feel understood, understood, overstood, where we can bond with people of like mind. And if you feel called to be part of this, definitely email me at drmumbi at drmumbishow.com. Please put your country in the subject line with Unity Communities. Get in touch with me, drmumbi at drmumbishow.com. Unity Communities.
Wake up, Africa!